What's up, everybody? This has been with another crypto update, and I know it's been a while. I've been very busy with my job, company. Um, so I haven't had a lot of time. I've been trying to put some tweets out every once in a while, and I'm just sitting down and doing an impromptu look at the charts here. So no agenda whatsoever. So I may babble for a bit, but just kind of taking a look here at HBAR. Obviously, crypto in general over the past day has been exciting. I know, most everything is moving to the upside, which is always nice and fun. Makes everybody feel good, even me. So, but even in those times, I want to look. I look back at indicators and I look at kind of what's happened in the past, just to kind of get an idea of maybe what's to come or what's going on. So this day the candle was great. We came right up and closed right at our resistance, same resistance that we've had on this chart for months. We've interacted with it multiple times with perfect closes and or wicks right to it in a number of different candles. And then today's, or yeah, I guess today's, you call it yesterday's, I guess by now, but this candle closed right at it once again and got rejected. So not surprised. Not surprised that it didn't, break through and keep going. Very well could come down and recheck this 9 and take off. That would be really cool. But a couple other things I'm looking at. The MACD is just still very, very, very flat. Not much movement here at all. RSI is just kind of blah, like it's been, right in the middle zone, right here in the 50s, hanging out. I will take credit if it does go off with this unconventional charting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times the charm tweet, just like I had to take credit for the bird, and just like I will take credit for I like big butts and I cannot lie. So I will take credit for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times the charm if it breaks through. If not, then I will not take credit. So another interesting thing that I noticed is just it was decent volume yesterday, but nothing special. I mean, I'd love to see it put in 4 or 5 days like this cluster, and actually make a pretty significant move to the upside. But if I put my cross here, and if you look over to the left, there's 2 other candles that this hits on first, which is this guy right here and this guy right here. So if I put my thing there, look at this guy, and the one we just put in yesterday. And if you look above them at the candles of what they did and what they did the day after. So we had a candle that came up, hit resistance the day after, complete recheck down to the 9, right? So look at the next time they had this kind of volume. Went up, hit this resistance on this on our wedge here exactly. Could not break through, recheck right back down to the 9. And then yesterday's or today's candle, right up exactly to resistance, and then got rejected, and looks like it's maybe coming back down to check, which is completely fine with me. I do just like to kind of see patterns like that. It's kind of crazy how they play out. So we'll see how this one plays out as well. If you look at the hourly, it's always fun to look at, but this is a perfect example of how I talk about the 9 being your friend. The price action and the 9 are friends. So we had this huge candle come up here. It was obviously way above the 9 MA, and so it could either sit up here and let this 9 catch up to it, or the other option is the price action comes back down and meets up with the 9, and then hopefully can stay above and have the 9 be support up until it hits resistance again, which is what it's doing right now. So there's this squeeze going on that has been going on over the past few hours, and you can see we've taken stabs, haven't been able to push through, and now we've fallen through. So we have a little bit of support here short term on the hourly, so we can look at that. But again, I would not be surprised to come back down and have HBAR recheck the 39.40 cents area at all. That would not surprise me, and I'd be totally fine with it. Obviously Bitcoin has a lot to do with this, and it's doing its thing. I mean, it had a really, really good day, put in a new all-time high. It rechecked it just barely. Let me get on this, blow this up. The stupid wick here is like screws everything up. So put a new all-time high, came down, look, rechecked it perfectly here on this wick here, and it held. So I'm kind of watching to see what Bitcoin does, and I tweeted about it earlier. I would like to see it go up into the 70s and then come back down and really recheck this area hard before moving up. If not, I would expect it to reject here, come back down into this area again, kind of where we were, and see what happens. We play around here, like in the 63 area, or even come back down and touch like this 58. Maybe we hit this continuation of this bear flag that we drew out, so long ago. So that's what I'm watching on Bitcoin. The other thing just to look at that I just saw on Twitter are this chart here. I mean, that's just kind of scary even to look at. So it's very important for you to have a plan in place. I did something that I don't normally do, and I posted some of my personal notes on Twitter, kind of how and I've said it before that I plan on selling. So just have a plan in place and know kind of what you're going to do if we get this kind of action. This is not a lot of time right here. You don't have a lot of time if this happens. You want to be able to be in a position to make a decision. There's not a lot of time that happens here, and you don't want to. It's very, very hard to sell on a green candle. I understand it's the hardest thing to do to sell while it's going up, but it feels so much better when it starts to come back down. It's never fun to sell on the way back down, because then you're always looking back at, well, I could have sold earlier. So I know it's very hard to sell into strength, and then you buy the weakness. It's completely opposite in your brain. I get it, but that is something to consider here. And the way these are playing out, these are fib levels, like we've drawn a couple times, or I have, and it is very I think it's awesome that how much these are similar here. So going to be very interested to watch over the coming weeks, that's for sure, into December and maybe even into January, who knows. So just be prepared. I mean, if we break these levels and Bitcoin starts to make its move, and we get some pretty healthy rechecks, like this is a healthy recheck here. I mean, pretty big recheck here. So just be ready. Just be ready. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I guess that's all I got for you. Bitcoin, it looks turning green. We'll see. I'm really interested to see how this next day plays out. The next day. This day was good. What does tomorrow look like for everything? There's a bunch of coins. A lot of my coins that I have are moving up, and I'm looking. They've all had really good days. Now I'm looking for what happens. What kind of follow up are we going to get? Is it just another recheck day like we did here, and we're going to still just mosey along? Or are we going to push up and do something? So that's plenty long enough. I mumbled. Going to watch the Bears game with my family. So you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace out.